So evaluation question 7. Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learned in the progression from it to the full product? Now, looking at my preliminary task, which was the sixth form magazine for Nicholas Chamberlain, we can see my font choices are quite basic, the shot types are quite basic, and I don't feel in this I got as much use of Photoshop features and of features that I could use to make the magazine more relevant to its audience as I could. And I feel that's something that's definitely progressed from this to my main task, as this is a lot more basic and it's got the design is a lot less imaginative, the colour scheme is more basic. And moving on to my main task, you can see I chose to go for a lot more of an explorative colour scheme to make the magazine stand out amongst other music magazines and to try to get the most out of Photoshop as I could. The layout looks a lot cleaner and a lot less basic than my preliminary does, and this was because going from my preliminary to my main task, I got a lot better of a grasp of Photoshop and I understood using Photoshop a lot more for the purpose of making a magazine. And I feel that came out in the construction of this. The fonts I've used are more relevant to the genre. There's a more variety of fonts. You can see the header and then stylized fonts that add a hip-hop element relevant to the genre of the magazine, and they are used sparingly so as not to be cluttering, but I feel that was something that was an element that wasn't present in my preliminary that is in this. My images are more varied. I've got shot types various in the contents, and then of people on the main image of the cover and the main image of the double page spread, and these are more attractive to the audience because they look relevant to the genre as well. Like, the images are styled to be reminiscent of hip hop so that you look at them and you'd think hip hop. The layout in general is better. I tried to, instead of just having black text like was on my preliminary, it's just plain black. On my main contents, I tried to incorporate the house theme to make the article look more visually appealing by having the pink and blue throughout that's present on the cover and the contents as well. And throughout this I was able to work on drafts. Like, my cover in particular went through several iterations before reaching this, which was something I didn't do as much in my preliminary. I made a lot smaller changes in this. When looking back now, I can see a lot more changes I would have made, but when doing my main task, there were a lot of changes that I identified at the time and then made them at the time, which I feel brought out a lot better of a finished product.